Hello, friends. Apologies for the poor audio quality for this stinger at the beginning. I am having to do this at work because I forgot to do it before putting together the Franken episode, and I don't have my good microphone. Um, Apologies for running two Frankens in a row. There have been some decent, difficult issues going on in both of our lives recently. Fingers crossed everything goes back to normal soon. Um, I won't speak towards Rage's stuff. He can talk about that if he wants to the next time we do a recording. As for me, my house became plagued this past week. We helped some friends move, and turns out they had COVID, and all of us were exposed, and there was enough germies in my commune to for us all to get it to some degree or another. Almost all of us. So far, I haven't tested positive. My kid hasn't tested positive, and one other person who lives in our house hasn't tested positive. Everyone else has tested positive and are all holed up. So fingers crossed I make it without getting sick. Because if I do get sick this weekend, then that means we'll have to do Franken 3 weeks in a row. Although that's not the primary reason for this stinger. The primary reason is that due to Death Stranding being removed from Game Pass, we are having to make a mid-month change to a new Game Club game. So we are doing Chicory, a Colorful Tale. It is available on Game Pass. You can also buy it on Steam or other platforms. So if you want to engage in the Game Club this month, that will be Chicory, a Colorful Tale. Hope you enjoy our Franken episode content, and everyone please cross your fingers and wiggle your noses or whatever that our lives return back to normal for next week so that we can get back into our regular routine. Thank you all. I love you. Good day.
So, story time. I have two, I think, very short stories from the past past few days. So I have mentioned before, at least to you. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on recording or not, but like I'm going to be kind of vague, so it doesn't matter. I actively participate in a number of local activist groups, LGBTQ A plus activist groups, and have met a lot of people in them. Some of them through being a counselor, some of them just by being active in the community. And there are some older people there, older being relative. There are some older queer people in the group. But for the most part, they are young teens to early 20s. And they recently invited me into one of their Discord groups that's less to do with organizing and more to just be like, we hang out and we talk to each other and we offer mutual aid and stuff. So it's like, okay, I'll go check this out. I can't necessarily be too active because of potentially some overlapping roles and stuff with clients and things. But I was like, I'll go. I'll be supportive. I'll lurk in the background, and if someone really needs something, they can reach out to me that way. Just another avenue of communication. And so I joined the Discord group, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Jared's here. Say hi, Jared." And everyone say hi to Jared. And I'm going and I'm looking at their bios that they have posted, and it's aside from I'm the oldest person in this Discord. When I say there are some older people, it's relative to teenagers. So there's the quote unquote old fuckers of their group are 25, 26, 27. And then here I come and they're like, "How old are you?" And I'm 32. And they're like, "Damn, man, you're old." All these 15-year-olds. And I'm like, Yep. Also, y'all are 15. So some of the shit that I normally talk about or post, can't do that because I don't want to go to jail. But it was nice. It felt really weird because they all know about me. A bunch of them know me and they all know about me. And so they're like, "Oh shit, it's Jared." And people putting memes like "the man, the myth, the legend." And I'm like, I'm not that cool, guys. I just try to be nice to people and talk to them about their problems. It felt very weird, but also like it felt pretty good. Like, yeah, these are all people that whose lives I have touched, been a part of in some way, but not that way. I didn't touch them that way. I'm not going to
Not,
jail.
not, not, not like that other Jared.
Yeah, not like that other Jared. I don't even like Subway all that much. I've had good bread. I know what real bread is like, but
Well, what's hilarious is I think it was Ireland. Subway got an illegal problem because their bread has too much sugar in it to be classified as bread in that country.
yeah, doesn't it count as like a pastry or? I
Yeah.
remember that story from forever ago, but yep.
Now I'm double checking the. Yeah, Ireland. Too much sugar.
The other thing, my other quick story is that it's been pretty slammed at work the last week, and I'm taking next week off. So not only has it been slammed, but I always try to make sure to see a few extra people before I'm going to be gone for a while. You know, it's my people who definitely need the extra support. Like if there was like a 911 emergency, I would go, you know, but I don't want to be contacted while I'm on vacation by clients who, you know, just like need a little boost, you know? So I'm like, well, let's get you a little boost before I'm gone so you can be okay. So there's, you know, tons of people coming and going. And I come out of my office this afternoon and I haven't seen Maria all day. Maria, just for the listener, I know I've told you, but just in case the listener of this in the indeterminate future has never heard me talk about her, Maria is the other therapist who works there. She's a Hispanic woman who is extremely stereotypically Latino woman. You know, like she's very like feisty. And today she was dressed in like this black gown thing. Like to me it seemed extremely like fancy. Like I'm sure it's not. Like I'm a fucking middle-aged white guy who dresses like everybody's like overweight middle-aged dad. You know, I wear plaid shirts and jeans and New Balance tennis shoes everywhere I go. You know, like I don't know the first thing about fashion, so I'm not like trying to make fun of her or whatever. Like just to me, like this is a very fancy dress. So I haven't seen her all day. And she comes out of her office and I come out of my office and we're both walking our clients back to the front. And I go, damn girl, looking fire. She's like, oh, shut up, you middle-aged fucker. And both of our clients just look at each other. And like everyone knows that I talk that way. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows that Maria talks that way. But like her and I, like that's just, that's how I play off of her. Like I like play into her like feisty fire. And like everyone like stops and looks. And then she's like, what you looking at, fool? This is how I talk to my homie. And then we like fist bump. And I was like, yeah, that's right. And then after like we walk up front, we proceed to talk about her clothes. And I'm like, seriously, that looks really good. Like, are you going somewhere after this? Like, are you going like to fancy dinner? And she's like, no, it's not that fancy. It's just like, it was in my closet. I haven't worn it in a while. I wanted to wear it. And I'm like, looks fancy to me. Looks bougie. She's like, you know I'm not bougie. I'm like, yes, you are. You are so bougie, Maria. And she is. She's very bougie. Her office is very, like, classic therapist office. Like, it's very serene, low lights, music, like, house plants. My office is the fucking, like, nerd kingdom with giant beanbag chairs and narwhals and Star Wars posters everywhere, but... And she's like, this is probably too expensive for you. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. My whole outfit cost me like $9. Because most of it I asked people to give me for like my birthday or for Christmas. And the only thing I bought was like this shirt and it was $9. But just a feisty woman. I like Maria. She's cool. I was
pretty...
kind of
have to be, especially with Sarah around.
Yeah. I wasn't sure when I first met her. Like, you never know when you meet people. Mm-hmm. And I think she was, like, really guarded when we first met. Because, like, she's a Hispanic lady who's coming into an office full of almost entirely white people. Denise is black. But Denise is older and is not feisty or fiery. Like I can kind of get away with a little bit. Like her, the way she says it is like, sometimes you make my black mama come out. So like sometimes I get, I can get in there a little bit, but for the most part, she's very quiet and reserved and standoffish. So, I think Maria came in a little guarded that way. And
plus, yeah, like I said, around Sarah, I can't blame her.
yeah. And like she's chill with everybody, but like with me, it's I have a special relationship with like everybody. Just because I've fucking like if I like you, like I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna pick on you. Like especially if I'm if my relationship is not super deep, like I still pick on the people that I love. Like, like with you, like every time we leave, I'm like, mwah, and you're like bad touch. And I just like keep making kissy faces at you. I know what your limits and what your boundaries are, and that's just a
maybe
funny,
get the hose.
right? But, that's just a way that I can do that with you, But you and I have a very deep relationship, and there's a lot more to it than just
bad touch.
There's a lot more to it than just our surface interactions, But I don't hang out with Maria after work. We, like, both of our kids are in Taekwondo together, so occasionally we text each other like, hey, can you pick up my kid? Or, can you drop my kid off? Like if...
Oh, no, he's getting a little heavy.
Oh. But, like that kind of thing. Occasionally we'll send each other like a meme. But, we don't hang out outside of work. We don't really talk outside of work. So, like that's it. Like that's just, that's my whole thing. It's like I just mess with her. I was about to say, but if something happened, I'd throw down for her. But I mean, she's a Marine. Like I'm pretty sure she could throw down way harder than I ever could. I mean, I'd give it my best shot, but yeah, I think she'd do better. The only advantage I have over her is size. Like she's small. She's just a small woman. She's short. She's pretty petite.
And you have extra padding.
I got a lot of extra padding. And I'm not an especially tall man, but I'm 5'9" and she's 5 foot nothing. So I've got a whole head on her. Although, don't get me wrong, I do not want to fight Maria. I do not want to test that. I like her, and even if I didn't, I don't want to pick a fight with a former military person. I feel like that's a bad idea.
That's really bad touch.
Yeah. So, anyways, those are my quick stories with, I guess, a bit of a tangent, but that's what we do. We go on tangents. Do you have
occasionally?
Yeah. Do you have any stories or tangents, or are you ready to record?
Really. It's been kind of a chill week. So, summertime is always the downtime with Adita, and so right.
Yeah,
she did
Makes
hit a
sense.
concert, but that was about it. So, got her heavy metal rock stuff going. Meanwhile, I'm just setting up for the anime convention, trying to figure out how much to save up for it, because right.
Yeah, that's October, right?
Yeah, first weekend in October.
You got a few months, but yeah, it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, trying to figure out just how much dried squid I want to get this time.
Dried squid.
It was actually strangely good. The last day of the con, some of the vendors that sell perishables would do like mystery bags of stuff.
Yeah,
and I got a $20 thing of just random snacks thrown together, and that was in there. By itself, it was like $8 or $9. So without mystery bag.
Yeah.
And also need to figure out what stacks to make or to pick up beforehand, because right, especially if we're gonna have Kidda with us again.
Is she gonna come with you again?
Yep.
Nice. That'll be good. You guys enjoyed that a lot last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to a improv comedy group last year, and the year before that hit the concert, which last year's concert I just wasn't really interested in. So I didn't go, and Anita wasn't too hip on it either. It was more like a folksy singer.
Yeah.
and just wasn't my jam.
What about your jelly? Was it your jelly?
No, it wasn't bacon.
No.
Well, yeah, I'll have stories from that at least.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
be looking forward to stories from that. I don't. The only other thing I have to talk about as story time is my car, and I don't want to talk about that again. It just makes me sad.
The SS boat payment.
Yeah.
I'm just. Whenever you brought that up, I just had the guys from Car Talk in my head, like, oh, that's a boat payment. Oh, what are you talking about? That's two.
Yeah. It's, at this point, if resetting the whole computer doesn't work, then it's done. Because it's at minimum, like what was quoted when we were looking at it the first time, before like they were able to reset the computer, the transmission control module. They were like, yeah, you're looking at $4,000 to replace this,
Oof.
and it's
Why is
like
it so much? Is it just the chip shortage still, or just all that's tied up in labor and
it's almost all labor.
it's like take the entire thing apart to replace one thing.
It's like $1,200 for the transmission,
Mhm.
and then another
Okay, I didn't realize
three.
it was replacing the transmission too.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me rephrase. It's the transmission control module. That part specifically is $125.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to replace it, because of the way that Ford's built these transmissions, is you have to disassemble the entire transmission.
Ooh.
Which means that you have to rebuild the entire transmission to put the module in it and put it back together.
So at that point, it might be cheaper just to get a new transmission.
So it might be cheaper to just get a new transmission. But no matter what, you've got to drop the transmission.
Yeah, which is oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my neighbor was like a backyard mechanic for the neighborhood, so I've seen how involved some of that stuff gets.
Yeah. So I could take it to the mechanic. Like it's in limp. Yeah, they call it limp home mode. I've got reverse, first gear, and kind of second gear. But then anytime it tries to shift up the third gear, it makes loud clunking sounds and kind of goes back and forth between second and third gear. So really, I can drive it about 35 miles an hour. So I could drive it to the mechanic. I could have them hook it up to the computer. Their little I forget what it's called, OBD something or other, which is just a diagnostic tool. But they've got you can buy really cheap diagnostic tools, but to do the fancy stuff like a full computer reset, those are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do that.
I know like some auto places or auto parts stores will also have one that you could borrow to take out to the parking lot and plug in.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. I might do that, although the nearest auto parts store is on the other side of town, which at normal speeds is like a 20-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyways,
but asshole parade mode, right?
Yeah. But, I could go through this whole process and have them reset it and see if it fixes it. And I guess if it doesn't, it's all right at the mechanic shop. Or I could go out there. I could finally be brave enough to open the hood after the deer incident, yank the battery, and let all of the capacitors die, which forces the computer to fully reset itself and every electronic component in the car when you plug it all back up. For lack of a better term, it's like a BIOS flash.
Okay, crazy idea. Have you tried throwing another deer at the car?
I might. But so that's what I'm going to do.
If that doesn't work, there's always fire.
Yeah. So I'm going to reset it. I'm going to do that on Thursday. That's the first chance I'm going to have to be able to, if it gets involved, to as you sent me the can opener picture, like if I really have to get out, the car mechanic version of a can opener, which is the angle grinder, that's a Thursday night project. My vacation starts Friday. As much as I don't want to be working on my car on my vacation time, like, so be it. Sometimes life works that way. But, so I'm going to do that Thursday night. So it's just going to sit in the driveway for a couple days. But if that doesn't fix it, like, I don't know. It's toast. It's just not worth it to fix it. I'd be better off to just buy a cheap car on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist even, and drive that until we're able to because I mean we want to get a truck. We honestly we need a truck, just a small truck. I've talked about this with you before. I think I even talked about it on the show. Just a small truck. Specifically, we've looked at a truck called the Ford Maverick, which is about the size of the old Ford Ranger. So just something small that can be taken to Lowe's to get some little bit of lumber when we need it here or there, mulch for the garden, that kind of thing. But it's still small, so it's economical. It's not super expensive. So, I mean, that's probably what we'll do if the car really is toast. Is I'll just find something, buy it for $1,000 or $1,500, and do that for a while. Yay, adulting! It's fun and expensive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready to get the show on the road?
I think so.
Well, I'm not. My car's fucked.
There you go. Enjoy.
What is this? Oh. Yes. I might do that. Actually, no, I won't do that. I'll part it out. I mean, it's bound to be worth, $1,000 to somebody in parts. The rest of the car is fine. The hood smashed up from the deer, but other than the transmission, everything else on the car is
Are you
is in
sure
good
the
working
engine's
order.
there? Because you haven't seen it in a while.
That's true. If the engine's not there, I don't know how it's driving. Even if badly, it's still
right
driving.
now it's poorly.
Right, but it's still going, so... All right, let me get back down here. Nope, that's the wrong Discord. That's the right Discord. Okay. You got Audacity up?
Hang on.
Hanging on.
It would help if I didn't misclick it over something else. Goes right.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got it running.
All right. Woo! Ready to record in 3, 2, 1. Record, and for the sync, 3,
2,
1. Sync.
Sounded right on to me.
Yay, we did it.
Okay, good job, everybody. Let's go. Let's call it a night.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's as good as it's gonna get. So let's just wrap up, call it a night, doobly doo, and all that.
So, not a fan of watermelon whiskey.
No, not a fan of watermelon whiskey. At least not this kind. I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him about it. I'm going to express that it was not my favorite, and if he has any suggestions to make it better / easier to drink.
I wonder if having it in some sort of cocktail would work.
Probably. Anything fruity that has whiskey in it would probably work well.
Although I'm not really a drinker, so I can't offer a suggestion on it. Like I said, salted watermelon has always been my combination, so that's kind of where I went with it first.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how the whiskey would interact with that. Might bring out some notes on the whiskey that are more unpleasant. I'm just seeing if there's anything on Reddit that popped up while... why does interesting things always happen whenever we're recording?
I don't know.
Girls bombarded with negative Steam reviews after devs alter old artwork that they felt was in poor taste.
Skullgirls?
Skullgirls. The fighting game.
I have Skullgirls Second Encore. I own this game, apparently.
Okay, well, it looks like the artwork, they removed a panty shot. Let's see. Skullgirls content and update revisions patch was deployed 2 days ago, so this is taking a while to get there. The changes are summarized in a forum post by game director Charlie Price, and that target 3 aspects of Skullgirls: allusions to real-world hate groups seen in dress and iconography of Skullgirls. Black Egypt army particularly is Nazi-like with red armbands. Instances in which characters are fetishized or have sexualization imposed upon them, with particular attention towards younger characters, and some content believed to be in poor taste in regard of race.
Cool. Sounds fine to me.
I mean, it's his artwork, right?
It's a whole bunch.
I mean, he's the director of right? So
yeah. What this reads to me, and I guess we'll find out. The immediate take I have on this is, oh, some Nazis got pissed about it, but instead of complaining about the Nazi shit, they're gonna decry censorship for the sexualization of minors, which are minor looking characters. Which doesn't look good either. But like, this says to me like classic right wing fashy type stuff.
I do have Second Encore as well. It must have been in a
Bundle or something.
Yeah, or it must have been a bundle somewhere. Let's see. Let's go. Yep, completely against censorship. This is especially true because there are instances of complete removal of paid content, removal, not replacement, blah, blah, blah. The new changes that distort the vision of the game, I sadly could not recommend. People latch onto the weirdest shit.
Yep, they do indeed.
Somebody posted in the forum, y'all are so childish. First response, no, it's about historical preservation. What? They should have made a separate launcher for Karen mode. Oh.
They should have made a separate launcher for what?
Saying that this is Karen mode now.
Oh.
Looks like there are a couple bigger changes in like story mode. Like one of the characters, the one that has the Nazi-esque armband that got removed. They also kind of cropped out a black man being beaten by the cops in one of her cutscenes, which a little harsh, but also I'm not sure how I feel about it, But I'm also not going to jump on this game now sucks, right?
Yeah.
It does seem weird that they're doing it now, though. That's kind of the odd thing, at least to me. Because as far as I know, Skullgirls hasn't seen a lot of content in a long time. Unless they're gearing up for a sequel.
When did this game release? 2013.
Yeah, 10 years old. I mean, some people are talking about how it just seems like a waste of time. But people going batshit about it is also a waste of time. But basically, it sounds like a lot of inconsequential changes in some story stuff, which does change kind of the story of the characters. But at the same time, people are going absolutely apeshit over this.
10 years is a long time. I mean, hopefully, I don't know anything about this dev, so, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt in terms of, 10 years is a long time. They've probably changed and grown and look back on some of their work and see some of it perhaps as immature or, that they've learned and grown a lot since then, and they want to reflect that in this piece of work. And because it's theirs, they're allowed to do whatever they want with it. If they wanted to replace all the models with poop emojis, they could do that.
Here's one that's one on the forum, Fred. That's pretty much what you expect. Go woke, go bro. Am I right? Say hello to Bug Light for me.
Yep, that's the people. That's what I'm talking about. All these fashy people. Although it's interesting, it's not interesting. It's reality. Companies, businesses see that the younger generations are more progressive, liberal, socially by nature. So go woke, go broke is bullshit. It's go fash, lose cash. That's the real one. Because companies continue in large. I mean, there's things that go back here and there, but companies in large continue to become more progressive in their marketing, advertising. Companies are not progressive, but they're trying to appeal to their new target demographic. Nobody ever gets any younger. So,
well, unless you're ultra billionaire, then you're sapping the life force out of the world.
Right, until you're in a car crash. It was like a JP Morgan something or other.
Oh, that's even better. But the whole Bud Light thing is also, it was one can for Pride Month, and it's been an issue for 3 months now.
Yeah,
and it's just a dumb talking point. And the thing is that the right wing assholes that may stumble upon a good point about this, that why change it now? It's the waste of time, or this changes this character's story and it doesn't make as much sense that this seeing the police brutality cut out of it changes her motivation. But then yelling about Bud Light, completely invalidates all your arguments, right?
Yeah.
But also the ones that are yelling about that, also, I don't think I have enough brain cells to rub together to figure that one out. I don't claim to be a very smart guy, but we are at this point where you have these fucking morons just screaming at the top of their lungs, and social media has been such a mistake to give the dumbest in society megaphones.
Yeah. I was having a conversation about this today with somebody. It wasn't Sarah either.
No, she was too busy with her megaphone.
Oh.
It's basically given every town idiot a megaphone to yell at others about their stupid worldviews. That if they had just a lick of common sense, would see just how wrong they were. But nope, too busy yelling about something else.
Yeah.
Or they're busy watching Fox News and getting riled up about the newest thing without actually sitting and thinking about it, right?
Yep. Nail, meat, head.
Or what's
Or
hilarious
hammerhead. Nail, meat,
is
hammerhead.
boycotting Bud Light and talking about buying another Anheuser-Busch beer instead, right?
Yeah. And not knowing or realizing that they're the same parent company.
I think it was Madura that saw a massive spike. The other cheap beer that's also an Anheuser-Busch brand. Just so dumb.
Yep.
So speaking of dumb things, night.
Yeah, it's time to go. Good night. Oh, I'm hungry. I need just a little snack. Maybe a pickle.
I was going to say pickle time.
Yeah. Pickle, a YouTube video, and then bed. Craig, you need to go to bed too, buddy. You have sweet dreams. You dream of electric sheep or whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Mwah.
Bad touch.
That's the Craig.
Still bad touch.